intermediate codes are known as byte code. And to run this byte code, I require interpreter. If I want to perform any input and output operations, then I have input and output package. Suppose if I want to convert my byte code to program description, then I can able to use Java B. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on Introduction to Java. I am Revati from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So dear student, before going to start my today's session, let me to recall the topic which I have covered in my last session. So dear student, in my last session, I have discussed Java and Internet. That means how this Java program is related to the Internet. What is the connection? So dear student, in Java, I have the concept called applet. To run applet program, I required internet connection. Along with that, another point you have to remember here that the first application was developed by using Java is Hot Java. And what is this Hot Java? It's nothing but the web browser. Now, if I consider Java and World Wide Web, what is the relationship? To run web applications, to run web page, I'm going to use Java. I'm going to use Internet. So here www is nothing but the repository where I can able to deploy web pages as well as website. Then we learned web browser. So what is this web browser? It's example for application program. There we learned how to provide the request and how to get the response. Then we discussed Java environment. When I consider Java environment, that is JE equal to JDK plus JSL. So what is this JDK? That's nothing but Java Development Toolkit. Under this, we are going to get thousands of development tools. Along with that, I have Java Standard Library. So this Java Standard Library includes thousands of classes as well as methods. And it's also known as application program interface. So what is Java environment? There is nothing but Java Development Toolkit. Along with that, Java Standard Library or application program interface. These are the certain topic we learned in my last session. Now, in my today's session, I'm going to deal with Java support system. That means to run Java program, what are the things I required? Along with that, I'm going to deal with Java development kit. Along with that, I'm going to deal with application program interface, Java Runtime Environment, that is JRE. Along with that, I'm going to write simple Java programs and I'm going to deal with the Java program structure. So these are the certain topic I'm going to deal in my today's session. So dear student, from the examination point of view, these two topics are very, very important. Now let's see the today's topic, that is Java support system. So why it is called Java support system? That means to run my Java applications, I required some supporting system. And what are the supporting system I required? Let's see one by one. So here first I required internet connection. Suppose if I'm going to run applet programs, then I required internet connection. And where I'm going to provide the internet connection? To my local computer. So local computer should be connected to the internet. Suppose if I want to connect local system to the internet, then I required internet connection. Then the next thing I required here is web server. So a program that provides request for information and sends the required document. So if I consider server and client concept, so I have server and I have client. Now the client is responsible for sending the request. Here in general example, shopkeeper, customer or client. Fine. Think that I'm the client. I'm going to visit the shop to purchase some vegetable. I'm going to request the shopkeeper that I required 1 kilo onion or 1 kilo potato. Now the job of the shopkeeper is to provide the response. That means he or she is going to weigh 1 kilo potato or onion. So it is general example. And if I consider client server architecture, I have server and I have client. Now this client is always going to send the request to the server. That means client is going to send the request to the server that he or she requires some resource. The job of the server is to run the request, that is process the request and send the response back to the client. So here it is request, here it is response. Similarly, if I consider web server, a program that provides request for information. So here I have the program and I'm going to provide the request for the information, and the web server is responsible for sending the response. So what is the response here? That is nothing but the required documents. Now I have another thing, that is web browser. So a program that provides access to www. Now think that I want to get the information about Java evolution. So what I will do? I'm going to use the web browser and I'm going to place the request. To place my request, I require web browser. So what is this web browser? It's nothing but the program that is used to access the repository. So what is repository? That is www and runs Java applet. To run my Java applets, I required web browser. Now a program that provides access to www and runs applet. For that, I required web browser. Then HTML. So what is this HTML? That is hypertext markup language. So it's a language for creating hypertext for the web page. Now, dear student, think that I have two documents. I have two documents. Now, I want to jump from one document to another and vice versa. To achieve that, in HTML, I'm going to have the concept called hypertext. Now, to provide hypertext between web pages, I required HTML. Then I have applet tag for placing Java applets in HTML document. So dear student, where I'm going to place applet program in HTML? For that, I'm going to use applet tag. So inside applet tag, I'm going to place the applet code. Then Java code. So here Java code is used for defining Java applet. So to define Java applet, I have Java code. The next point here is bytecode. So dear student, here Java is different from all the other programming language because of bytecode. Now, this bytecode is intermediate code. Compiled Java code that is referred to in the applet tag and referred to the user computer. So here intermediate codes are known as bytecode, and to run this bytecode I required interpreter. Then what is the input to the interpreter? That is bytecode. After interpreting, I'm going to get the machine code. So these are the some of the Java support system. Now I have Java development kit, that is JDK. So here JDK bundle includes following tools, that is applet viewer. To run my applet program, I required applet viewer. So enables us to run Java applet. Another tool, Java. So here interpreter name is called Java. So Java is nothing but the interpreter which runs applets and applications by reading and interpreting bytecode file. So dear student, think that I am going to create or I am going to write Java program. Now how I am going to save the Java program? That is with the extension .java. While compiling, I am going to compile Java C and filename .java. Once I compiled my program, I am going to get the bytecode. To run bytecode, I am going to write Java, then filename. So here Java is nothing but the interpreter. Now, what is Java C? That is Java compiler. To compile Java program, I am going to use Java compiler. For example, A.java is my program name. Then how I am going to compile? That is Java C A.java. Once my program is error free, then I want to interpret. How can I? that is Java A. This is the way I'm going to run Java program. Now, Java doc. To create HTML format document from the Java source file. Dear student, I have Java file and I want to create HTML of that. For that, I'm going to use Java doc. Then what about Java H? That is nothing but the header file. Suppose if I want to include any header files, then I'm going to use Java H. Then Java P. So Java P is nothing but the Java disassembler which enables us to convert bytecode to program description. Suppose if I want to convert my bytecode to program description, then I can able to use Java P. Then Java debugger, that is JDB. J is nothing but Java. Here DB is nothing but debugger. So Java debugger which helps us to find the errors in the program. That means to debug my Java program, I'm going to use Java debugger. So these are the certain tools which is present in the Java development kit. Now I have application programming interface or application program interface. As I discussed, it's also known as Java Standard Library. This Java Standard Library includes classes as well as methods. Now, the Java Standard Library includes hundreds of classes as well as methods grouped into functional package. So, what is API? That is nothing but Java class, Java methods as well as Java packages. Now, let's discuss what are the classes, what are the methods, what are the packages comes under Java API. That is language support package. To support different types of language, we have language support package. So it is nothing but the collection of classes as well as methods required for implementing the basic features of Java. That means to implement Java program, I required Java language support package. For that, in my program, I'm going to use LANG. So, what is this? Language support package. Now, utility package. So, dear student, if I'm going to write Java program for date and time, then I must able to import util package. So here import Java dot util dot star. So I'm going to import date functions, time functions, etc. To provide all the utility functions, I'm going to use util package. If I want language support, then Java dot lang dot star. Suppose if I want to perform any input and output operations, then I have input and output package. Then how I'm going to import? That is import Java dot io dot star. Now, If I want to include any networking operations, that means if two systems want to communicate each other, then I require networking package. So this networking package includes thousands of classes as well as methods as well as package. Now, AWT, that is Abstract Windows Tool package. So here the Abstract Windows Toolkit package includes number of classes and methods for implementing platform independent graphical user interface. That means whenever I want to create graphical user interface, in that time I want to import AWT package. Then if I want to write applet program, then I want to import applet package. So this applet package includes thousands of classes as well as methods. So these are the some of the packages comes under application programming interface. Now I have Java Runtime Environment. So here Java Runtime Environment facilitates the execution of program developed in Java. So dear student, just think that I have written sample Java program. I have written sample Java program. Now to run this program, I required some platform or environment. And where I'm going to get the environment, that is under Java Runtime Environment. Then here I have Java Virtual Machine. If I consider Java Runtime Environment, then I have Java Virtual Machine. So this Java Virtual Machine is also known by the name JVM. So it is JVM. So what is this? As the name itself indicates that it is logically present inside the system, but it's not physically present, it's logically present in the system. For that reason, it's named as virtual. So logically it is present. So it is a program that is responsible for interpreting the intermediate Java bytecode. So intermediate result here is Java bytecode and guarantees the desired output. So dear student, please make a note here that when I compile Java program, I'm going to get the intermediate result, that is bytecode. It is because of bytecode and JVM concepts that programs written in Java are highly portable. So here Java is portable because of bytecode and virtual machine. Then I have runtime class library. These are a set of core class libraries that are required for the execution of Java program. So dear student, to execute my Java program, I require runtime class libraries. Then I have user interface toolkit. Now I want to establish interface between user as well as computer system. For that, I'm going to have user interface tool kit. So here I have AWT. That means suppose if I want to provide graphical user interface, then I can go with AWT. Then I have swings are example for toolkits that supports various input methods for the user to interact with the application programs. The last one, deployment technologies. So what are the deployment technology I required? That is Java Runtime Environment includes Java plugins as well as Java stars. So these are the certain tools comes under Java Runtime Environment. Now I have simple Java program. That means how I'm going to write Java program. So dear student, the first keyword I'm going to use here class, because in Java everything is treated as classes and objects. For that reason, the first word I'm going to use here is class. Before that, I'm going to import java dot lang dot star. I'm going to import java dot util dot star package. Now, I want to specify the class name. So, what is my class name? Sample1. So, dear student, please make a note here that my program name must be class name. So, what is my program name here? That is sample1.java. So, while saving my program, which file name I have to enter or I have to specify here is that my class name. So, what is my class name? That is sample1. Open the curly brace. Inside that, I'm going to have public static void main string args. So, dear student, if I consider any programming language, the execution of the programming language is going to start from the main program. After that, this main program does not return any result. For that reason, it is void. Now, to run my main program, I does not require any object. For that reason, I'm going to specify the keyword static. Now, this main program is public or accessible throughout the program. For that reason, it is called public. Here it is string and args. So, this is mainly used to receive command line argument. Now, dear student, what is wrong in this line? So, dear student, please make a note here. Java is case sensitive programming language. I repeat, Java is case sensitive programming language. For that reason, this is wrong. That means in public keyword, public P is small letter. So, P is small letter. But what I have written? Capital letter P. So, this P is wrong. Now, what I want to use? I want to use small letter P. Fine. Now, inside this, I'm going to write the code. What I want to write? I just want to display some message that is Java is better than C++. So, Java is better than C++. If I consider C program, directly I can write printf within double quote, I'm going to write Java is better than C++. Same statement, I'm going to replace. Instead of printf, what I'm going to write? System dot out dot println. So dear student, in system, S is capital letter, and what about P here? Once again, it is wrong because Java is case sensitive. Here P is small letter. Now, if I consider system is my package, in that package I have the class called out. In that class I have the method called println. That means in my one big bag, I have another small bag. Inside that, I have another small bag. So here, big bag is nothing but the system. That's nothing but package. Then the bag which is inside the big bag, that is class. Inside that, I have another bag, that is method. So I have package, in that I have class, in that I have methods. And close the curly brace and close the curly brace. And dear student, please remember here that to indicate the end of the line, I want to specify semicolon. So this is my first simple Java program. Now tell me how I'm going to save this program, that is sample1.java. After that, how I'm going to compile, that is Java C sample1.java. Now how I'm going to run, that is Java sample1. This is all about simple Java program. Now I have Java program structure. What is the structure of Java program? That is, first I have package statement, then I have documentation section, then I have import statement, then I have class definition and main method class. So dear student, think that I'm going to write the Java program. So what I want to write at the beginning, that is my package statement. Suppose if I'm going to create my own package or I'm going to import any package, where I'm going to write in my package statement. Then I have documentation section. So I'm going to write the comments in the documentation section regarding program or regarding particular line. I'm going to write the comment. And where I'm going to write the comment? In my documentation section. After that, I have import statement. That means which are the package I want to import in my program, and I'm going to write all those things in my import statement. Example, import java.awt.star. Okay, then import java.io.star. Fine. Then I'm going to create the class. For that, I have class definition. For example, class A, where I'm going to write in my class definition. After that, I have main method class. So I have class B. In that, I'm going to write public static void main. Then I'm going to write the statement. Okay, this is the overall structure of Java program. So at the beginning, I'm going to write package statement. After that, I'm going to write documentations. After that, I'm going to import the packages. Then I'll write class definition. Then I will write main method classes. So this is all about Java program structure. Anyway, dear student, in my today's session, I discussed Java development toolkit, along with that Java support system, along with that I have discussed Java runtime environment, along with that I have discussed Java program structure. But in my next session, I'm going to deal with application program interface, along with that once again Java runtime environment. Along with that, I'm going to deal with simple Java program and Java program structure. So dear student, anyway, let's meet in the next session with the new information about introduction to Java. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.